Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of WAGME TV. This one's going to be chock full of great information, some great updates. We're going to be talking, the AERO chart. We're into kind of an accumulation phase there, and then also the farming opportunity that presents in the AERO protocol. So we're excited to talk about that today. First off, just want to say, welcome to our new subscribers. Very thankful for you guys tuning in, subscribing, and watching our content. Thank you for all the great comments, and we really appreciate that. Almost 400 of you guys new in the last 3 weeks or so. So, stay tuned. We're going to keep the good content coming in. But first of all, we're going to go to the charts. So I'm going to pass it over to Mata.
Yeah, definitely. So let's hop into the chart. It has definitely been a bloody day. That is for sure. I think this past day we were down almost 13%, 12.4-ish percent. But these are the typical lines we've been looking at, right? We have our yellow trend lines. We have this blue upper resistance line at this point. And then we have this accumulation zone that we've been talking about for quite a while. So we have entered this pretty nicely. We are coming right down to the low end. So again, if you're a long-term holder of AERO, if you're someone who wants to accumulate this would be a good area in order to do that, right? I think something that we always caution is it's going to depend on the broader market as well, right? So we have Bitcoin that's potentially breaking down and not doing as well lately. And really all the other altcoins have been doing very poorly as well. So you do have to keep that in mind as you're looking to kind of continue to accumulate this. But it's interesting. It has been playing in this zone. We saw it break down into this zone, actually come back up and retest this previous support as resistance, and of course broke down to here. I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially touch some of this and then moved back around up to here. But it seems like crypto might just be ranging for a bit. I guess some good news that we see, right, is typically as you see these bars down here, as volumes decreasing and as prices decreasing, that's typically a good sign or bullish sign. So hopefully we can see some upside in this soon. But if we go to a even more near-term chart, right, here's our 4-hour chart, pretty big candle here from a both from a price perspective and from a volume perspective. But something I really wanted to kind of show you all was what's called RSI, which is essentially the idea here is whether or not a stock or a crypto, et cetera, is oversold or overbought. So if it's below this this line here, this 30 line, that means it is typically oversold. Also, when you're looking at these, what you can find are what we call bullish or bearish divergences. So if you actually have higher lows in RSI while you have lower lows in price, that is actually what's called a bullish divergence. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce somewhere in this range to actually come up. Again, we're going to have to retest right around this 77-ish, 78 cents line, which is going to be a little bit of resistance here. The bigger resistance will be that 88 cents or so line. So again, we could be ranging in this for a bit, but we could see some relief here soon. But again, something that we always talk about is if you are a long-term holder, it is a good time to accumulate, especially in this zone that we've been tracking for quite a while. But there are multiple ways to accumulate, especially in something like AERO, right? So this is obviously one way, actually buying directly through the charts on price. But I know Soham's going to talk about actually farming as an option to start to accumulate if you're a little bit more risk averse or you don't actually want to go directly and buy AERO the coin. So pass it over to Soham to talk through that.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Mata. I mean, a really good overview. We've been having our eyes on the charts, and what's pretty clear right now is crypto just generally is in kind of like a ranging space right now, right? Bitcoin is ranging between like 60 and 70K. We have alts kind of not doing so well. Some kind of at critical support levels like the AERO token. And it ends up being when you have this ranging market, it ends up being a good time to accumulate either by buying tokens or by farming. And the cool thing is that right now, the yields on Aerodrome specifically are very attractive, even on like stablecoin pairs. So today we wanted to show you a few of our favorite stablecoin farms on Aerodrome, ones that you can take advantage of today if you wanted to continue to accumulate the AERO token with very little price risk, right? Obviously in DeFi everything has risk, but relatively less risk than what you would be taking on by simply buying the token in the open market. So the first thing, we want to take you to a dashboard. Ends up being a really good place to kind of start searching for potential farms, right? This is a dashboard that we've gone through before, which is the AERO leaderboard. This basically shows the amount of projects that have accumulated the most AERO, and by doing that, they can actually influence where the emissions of the AERO token go. So here we can say, a few of the top holders here, as well as a whole chart. And so looking for tokens specifically related to each of these top projects can really be a good place to start when you're searching for good farms to look at. So wanted to quickly touch on that. And now we can go to Aerodrome itself to check out some of our favorite farms. So here we go. We go to Aerodrome. You can obviously filter for stable. That's obviously just stable coin pairs. It's going to be the least risky out of anything on the platform. And you can see right off the bat, you have some unbelievable yields right here on stable coins, right? A lot of people have, cash sitting in high yield savings account doing like 5 or 5.5%. Here you can do multiple X's on that and simultaneously be accumulating the AERO token in return, right? So Dola is one of the projects that's actually number 2 on that leaderboard, Inverse Finance, that I showed just a couple minutes ago. And so any pool with Dola in it will likely have pretty high yields. So right off the bat, you see the top 2 up here. So Dola and USDC. Overall, like a pretty solid pair. And of course, TVL is a great metric to go on. There's almost 60 million, almost 100 million total between these couple Dola pools. So just based on this alone, you can be earning, upwards of 30+% on your stable coins, which is really solid. USDZ, this is a project that I actually just learned about. It's an RWA, so real world asset backed stablecoin. This one is a fairly new project, so obviously you have to do your own research and stuff. It may be a bit riskier given how new the project is, but obviously, you're earning a little bit of a risk premium on it since it's, pretty much 40% on stable coins. Very, very attractive. And then, we come down to some of these other ones. Reserve Protocol was one of the ones, I believe, number 5 or 6 on that leaderboard. And they have a few different pools here. You can see EUSD and USDC doing about 20%, EUSD and MAI also doing above 20%, and Dola EUSD, which is kind of like putting the voting power of 2 powerhouses together, doing over 30%. So all of these kind of together, I would say, starting with that overall leaderboard and then narrowing down who has the most voting power, going to those pools and farming those stable coins, I think is a really, really solid strategy right now as the market is kind of ranging. Gives you a great opportunity to accumulate AERO. You can maybe do a little bit of both depending on what your risk profile is. Maybe like Armada said, you can buy tokens in the open market, simultaneously be farming stable coins with, your sidelined capital, and still be earning really, really good returns. So just wanted to kind of cover a few of those farms. What do you guys think of, kind of stable coin farming and where we're at here with AERO?
I just think, first of all, great job, Sam and Mata. And I think just like this just brings up a great point of like, we have kind of this unknown time in the market. We're technically still in the bull run, right? It hasn't been invalidated, but during the, historically during bull runs, we have these kind of large accumulation phases where it's kind of hard to know what to do. And, I feel like the people who make the most money in crypto and do the best are ones that can adjust. And when we get into an accumulation phase, that, moving a lot of funds to stablecoin farms and kind of having more of the yield play in your back pocket, as opposed to just, hoping and praying something goes up higher than when you bought it, I think is a good strategy to have in your back pocket and something to always be open to trying. So I think it's a great call out now and a great opportunity to do it right now.
Definitely. And the other thing I would say is, we have seen some of the comments regarding the tokenomics and inflation. There seems to be some concerns there we did a couple videos in the past, but we're actually planning to do more in the future to go more, deep into that particular topic. What I will say is, like, the easiest way to combat the inflation is to actually be farming some of the pools while you're also holding the token, right? Because then you're actually taking advantage of the inflationary pressure. You're earning more tokens simply by farming instead of actually buying it with your own capital. So another potential strategy there for those who are kind of worried about that aspect of things. But we'll definitely be deep diving into that more in the coming weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, as Soham said, we'll be bringing you guys some additional Aero content as well as other content. Definitely keep like letting us know in the comments, right? We read every single one. So give us the feedback. We love it. Let us know what you guys want to hear, what's going to be helpful to you. We'll put that into our content and into our process. So thank you guys again. This is not financial advice. Thank you guys, for the support. Like, comment, subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you next week for another episode of WAGME.